Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. It's a wonderful, wonderful day. And I am so grateful because I have been blessed to come on one more time on Point of View with Ms. Shirley Polk. It is such a blessing and a privilege. And I thank God because He is the only one who has control over life, death, and any other thing here. And I am thankful to Him because of His loving kindness and His tender mercies, because He is a true, wonderful God. Dear God, as I sit before you and if I should die before I finish, you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. How important is our integrity? How important is our integrity? And what is integrity? Integrity, according to Bing.com, integrity is essential because it builds trust, strengthens relationships, enhances reputation, and fosters personal and professional success. So I'm going to go into the definition and core concept of integrity. And there's a commercial that I like so much. There's a little girl and she's marking the sidewalk kind of like for, what is it we call it? A skip, hopping and skip. Anyway, I'm on up here in years now. I used hopscotch. I think that's what it is. And she said, integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Hello, thank you for being here. So, we're going to go into the definition and core concept of integrity, and then we're going to go further than that. Bing has some good information for us. So, the definition and core concept of integrity. Integrity is the practice of doing the right thing. Oh, here it is. Integrity is the practice of doing the right thing even when no one is watching, guided by consistent moral and ethical principles. It involves honesty, fairness, and alignment between one's actions and values, regardless of external pressures or potential rewards. Oh my goodness. Essentially, integrity acts as a moral compass, ensuring that decisions and behaviors reflect authenticity and ethical standards. Isn't that something? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And do you know I always consult God, and I've said this before, about what I am to relay on point of view because I always wanted to be helpful, informative, and factual. I wanted it to be right and be the truth. And so, just less than 2 minutes before I signed on, the Lord gave me this about integrity. Well, I'll say about 5 minutes about integrity. Why is it so important to us? And we're getting everything we need right here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're awesome for being here. And I don't mind telling you that I have love for you wherever, whenever, however you're watching. Even if you're not watching, don't get to watch all the time. I am still thankful for you and I appreciate you because this means so much to me when I can relay this information and I do this research, and somebody is listening and somebody appreciates it. And it really, really encourages me. Okay. So let me get back into this information, which is really, really, really good. Really good. And I'm so thankful for God's Spirit and how He guides me, gives me what to do. And thank Him for my obedience to Him. Building trust and credibility. Building trust and credibility. We're talking about integrity. Integrity, building trust and credibility. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. One of the most critical aspects of integrity is its role in establishing trust. If you can't be trusted, you're in bad, bad shape. You know that? If you can't be trusted, and so many people cannot be trusted. So many people cannot be trusted. I'm going to make sure all of my monitoring on my TV. You know, if just in case you might not know, if you have a smart TV, you can watch and listen on your smart TV in the full screen, okay? So I am live on Facebook and YouTube, and I upload to LinkedIn, and I have two other channels, which is Africa TV, AFREECA TV, which is based in Korea, and I do, oh gosh, it's a game channel, Twitch.com. So I have information there also. Building trust and credibility. I'll start this one again. One of the most critical aspects of integrity is its role in establishing trust. When individuals act with integrity, others know they can rely on their word and actions. Don't you try? Don't you try? You're a person of integrity. You do everything you can to keep your life clean, keep yourself trustworthy. Yes, I do. I do. All of us have pasts, good or bad or both. We all know who we are, who we were, and we're striving for being a better person, a much better person each and every day. But we know ourselves. We're supposed to know ourselves. If you can't know anybody else if you don't know yourself. Okay, not what does it say? Not, you just can't know. If you don't know yourself, then how can you know someone else? Okay, so you have to be able to define who you are in order to be able to understand others. That's what I'm saying. So when individuals act with integrity, others know they can rely on their word and actions. This reliability fosters credibility as people recognize that promises will be kept and commitments honored. In professional settings, integrity ensures that colleagues, clients, and partners can depend on consistent ethical behavior, which is foundational for teamwork and collaboration. And next is reputation and respect. Reputation and respect. And I'm still getting this information and reading from Bing.com. Okay. So, reputation and respect. Integrity directly influences reputation. Integrity directly influences reputation. Individuals who consistently demonstrate ethical behavior are seen as trustworthy and honorable, which enhances their social and professional standing. Respect naturally follows integrity, as others admire steadfast commitment to doing what is right, even in challenging situations. A strong reputation built on integrity can open doors to leadership roles, opportunities, and long term success. Have you ever had, and I'm sure you have, had to stick to the right thing to do in spite of peer pressure, other pressures around you, sometimes dangers, whatever? We've heard of people who are in witness protection. We've heard of people who witness things and they have to be protected before they go to testify about what they have seen or heard. Okay? So if you know someone like that or have ever had to do that, you had to go above and beyond what human nature naturally would do in spite of dangers. Some things are absolutely dangerous. Some things people are called to do because they have been uh, destined to be in certain situations. And I really believe that. Why else would they be there if they weren't supposed to be there? And many times they can help the situation if they to stick with their integrity. That's what we as Christians, as children of God, that's how we are because of the integrity that we have that's bestowed up on us and built in us. And even if before we were saved, we had integrity. We told the truth. But now that we are saved, we are double, triple, quadrupled with integrity. Okay? So next is personal well-being and emotional stability. Beyond external benefits, integrity contributes to inner peace and psychological resilience. And you know, resilience is one of my favorite words. Resilience. We are strong physically, mentally, emotionally. We are stronger than what we can ever imagine. Look at us, all of the things that we've gone through in our lifetimes, and here we are still standing, still sitting, still upright, and holding on to our integrity. Oh my goodness, we are strong. Oh my goodness, we are a strong creation, resilient, and like the battery, I think it's the battery commercials that take a licking and keep on ticking. I guess it's a battery commercial, but anyway, if you've lived any time, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So beyond external benefits, integrity contributes to inner peace and psychological resilience, stability in that mind. Acting in alignment with one's values reduces stress and frustration, as there is no need to compromise principles to gain approval. If you compromise your principles, sometimes you can never regain it because you compromised your principles. You lose something when you do that. Some things are never regained. Sometimes you never come back from that, okay? So be very, very careful. Think this thing out no matter what comes or goes. I must keep my integrity. That's all we have that's amounted to something, okay? Our integrity. And yes, when we were born, when we were created, God put integrity in us because even before Jesus Christ, People had integrity. They knew the right thing to do. Now, whether they always did the right thing or not, they knew what to do. Okay? So, most of the time, okay? And we are not ever put in a situation where we cannot come back from it or survive it, okay? If we do the right thing. Oh my goodness. Whew, wow. Research shows that individuals who prioritize intrinsic values, including integrity, experience higher self esteem, life satisfaction, and emotional stability. Psychological resilience, emotional stability. Upholding integrity also promotes mental health by fostering a sense of purpose and authenticity. So the professional and social impacts are coming right now in workplaces and communities. Integrity is a cornerstone of ethical culture. It ensures fairness, accountability, and transparency, which strengthens relationships and encourages collaboration among diverse groups. Organizations and individuals known for integrity are more likely to earn trust, loyalty, and long term successes. And I'm thinking about how rival people who have a rivalry, whatever, if it's a group or individuals, and they decide they come together and say, okay, we're going to settle this, and I'm going to do my part to keep a peaceful relationship, and you are going to do your part. So each one is saying this to each other, whether it's a group or whether it's individuals. And they say, okay, we agree, we're going to do what we need to do to keep the peace. And then one does something that might, let me see, might interrupt that peaceful relationship. And so now they come back and say, oh, I messed up. I want us to start over again. Now, is there a solid trust between these individuals, groups? Do you think there's a solid trust that can the trust be reestablished like it was before it was broken? I don't think so. And so that's where the trouble lies because they think their integrity is weak. They broke the truth, and I'll never be able to fully trust them again. This happens each and every day. Integrity, integrity is very, very, very important in life. Doing the right thing when no one is watching. So the conclusion in this piece here in being.com, integrity is not just a personal virtue, but a practical foundation for trust, respect, and success. By consistently aligning actions with ethical principles, individuals enhance excuse me, there's no IN on there. So let me start this sentence again because you know I have this, uh, hmm, I don't know whether I want to call it a disorder, but anyway, I have to make sure it's right. And so I have to catch myself because if I get one word wrong, I want to go back and do the whole sentence again. That's me, okay? So by consistently aligning actions with ethical principles, individuals enhance their credibility, maintain strong relationships, and achieve both personal fulfillment and professional growth. And I'm pretty sure that you have probably been in a situation, I know I have, and there are some individuals, some groups that I do not fully trust, can't bring myself to. Now, I can, what am I trying to say? I can tolerate if I have to be in the midst of or be in the company of to a certain point. But the trust, if it has been broken, I can never fully trust the situation, whoever, wherever it is, again. But I can cope as long as I need to. And there is a scripture that says, in as much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. But you don't have to be abused, stay in a situation that is not healthy mentally or physically for you. And like my sister says, get some yonder. Remove yourself from that environment. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, this is Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk. Now, this that I read from being for psychological resilience, personal well-being, and emotional stability. That's in one of my favorite, Minimalism Made Simple. And then, of course, Psychology Today is one of my favorite sites. And I'm going to go back up here, or am I going back down here to find that Psychology Today piece? I want to do the whole piece. Psychology Today. Minimalism, here's Psychology Today. Let me click on that. And okay, I want to click on that. There we go. And read into that article. I love doing this. I like helping. And I'm not only helping you if you need help, I am helping myself. And I am so grateful for all of this out here. I don't have to go and write all of this information from my head and do research. I really do. But there are so many people out here that have done the research, the studies, and all of that we can come on here and go through and see if it fits where we need it to fit and see if it's the right thing to present. And I am just so grateful for that. So I'm in Psychology Today, the integral role of integrity. The integral role of integrity, and Jessica Kohler, PhD. And I guess her practice is beyond school walls. And this, I always like to tell when it was released. This is April the 5th, 2023. And it's reviewed by Tyler Woods. How living in congruence with your values improves overall wellness. And so the integral role of integrity, the integral role of integrity. And the key points in this piece: integrity is a steadfast commitment to moral and ethical principles, promoting personal and collective well being. The next point is upholding integrity is linked to increased self esteem, life satisfaction, mental health, emotional stability, and workplace success. Next point: living with integrity involves self reflection, accountability, consistency, honesty and transparency, and ethical decision making. So let's get into integrity. This is Psychology Today. This is a 2023 piece here. Conceptualized as an unwavering commitment to moral and ethical principles. Integrity is, is simply put, doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. Upholding integrity speaks to an individual's inner strength and values and serves. Okay, we know I read this over there. So this was a psychology contribution to Being.com, okay, that was chosen for Being. So upholding integrity speaks to an individual's inner strength and values and serves as a moral compass, guiding their actions in an increasingly complex and interconnected society. Understanding the effect of integrity on individual and collective well being is essential as it fosters trust and collaboration among people from diverse backgrounds and perspectives. Oh, yes. So let me get on into this. I don't know whether you can hear me moving, scrolling up and down, but if you do hear some clacking, it shouldn't be clacking, but anyway, if it is, that's me scrolling. Self esteem and life satisfaction. Research has established a strong correlation between integrity and increased self esteem and life satisfaction. And self esteem is one of my courses. I've been teaching it, living it, since before the first rodeo that my family and I uh, sponsored in Denison, Texas. Uh, we did it, was it 2 years in a row? I think it was 2 years, I believe we did it. And the rodeo person that was mentoring me and that was putting it all together, I guess he's a promoter, I guess is what you would call him. And he gave me a book by Tony Robbins. And ever since I read that book, I saw a deep, deep, deep awakening, vast emotional, mental awakening. The fact is that if you have high self esteem, if your self esteem increases even just a little bit, you can do wonders. And I was already doing things anyway. But I've done things, just kept promoting bigger and better things by the grace of God. The self esteem is very important in aiding you. You have to have self esteem because if you didn't, you wouldn't believe that you could do the things that you want to do and you're doing. Okay. So self esteem and life satisfaction. So let me get on into this again. All right. Researchers established a strong correlation between integrity and increased self esteem and life satisfaction. Individuals who prioritize intrinsic values, including integrity, demonstrate higher self esteem levels than those who focus on intrinsic values. No, not intrinsic, extrinsic. Okay. All right. So individuals who prioritize intrinsic values, including integrity, demonstrate higher self esteem levels than those who focus on extrinsic values. Intrinsic values involve personal growth, close relationships, and community involvement, while extrinsic values revolve around material wealth, status, and physical appearance. See the difference? Intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay. So by promoting a sense of purpose and authenticity, integrity leads to more positive self appraisal and improved self esteem. In another study, Participants who pursued intrinsic values experienced greater life satisfaction than their counterparts driven by extrinsic values. This finding suggests that adherence to moral and ethical principles contributes to a more fulfilling life, providing a strong foundation for overall well being. So, as individuals with high integrity are less likely to compromise their values for material gain or social approval, they experience greater psychological resilience and satisfaction in the face of life's challenges. And resilience, I know many of you know what resilience is, but I just want to reiterate, okay? Resilience. Resilience is a psychological quality that allows some people to be knocked down by the adversities of life and come back at least as strong as before. Rather than letting difficulties, traumatic events, or failure overcome them and drain their resolve, highly resilient people find a way to change course, emotionally heal, and continue moving toward their goals. Oh, yes, we are resilient. We are resilient. Thank you, God, for resilience. Hallelujah. Oh, yes, I know this is point of view, but I am who I am, and I am who I am. And in whatever I do, I just thank God for it because without Him, I don't know whether I would exist today. Even though He is Almighty, He is from the beginning. He's the beginning, He's the end, and He's all that in between because there is no beginning and there is no ending with God. Okay? So, because of who He is, I am who I am, and I thank Him for that. I thank Him for that. Okay, integrity. We talked about it, okay? Psychological resilience. Oh, yes, of integrity. I am just so grateful. I really, really am. Because there's so many places we could be. I'm thankful for you, grateful for you. So many places we could be. We could be down and out, but here we are talking about self esteem, resilience, integrity, all of that. That's good for us. All we have to do is practice it, put it into action. It's already instilled in us. So, next here is mental health and emotional stability. Integrity plays a crucial role in promoting mental health and emotional stability. A study by Ryan Cherkov, Little, Sheldon, Timoshina, and Desi in 1999 impact of autonomy, competence, and relatedness on well being. The researchers found that when individuals act congruently with their values, they experience improved mental health and emotional stability. So, this finding highlights the importance of integrity as a critical factor in fostering psychological resilience. Oh, yes. Research by Desi and Ryan in 2000 demonstrated that individuals who maintain high levels of integrity are more likely to experience a sense of autonomy, the freedom to make choices in line with one's values. So, by acting with integrity, Individuals can better navigate life's complexities while maintaining a solid sense of self and emotional balance. Oh, yes. Next, social health and relationship quality. Integrity is also associated with improved social health and relationship quality. Acuno and Reed, 2002, found that individuals who exhibit strong moral and ethical principles are more likely to form stable, fulfilling relationships. By living their values, these individuals create an atmosphere of trust and respect, fostering stronger connections with others. This is so true, and we know it's true because we have experienced this. Oh, yes. So, this finding underscores the significance of integrity in cultivating positive social interactions and promoting overall well being. Additionally, research by Simpson, Orena, and Ikes, 2003, revealed that individuals who consistently act with integrity possess higher levels of empathy, a critical component of social intelligence. Empathy enables individuals to understand the feelings and perspectives of others, thus facilitating more effective communication and conflict resolution. Now, if you listen to the Mother's Board, or if you join us on the Mother's Board Inc. on Fridays at 1 p.m. Central Time, Dr. Mack and me, Dr. Mack and myself, whichever you choose to use, okay, me or myself, okay? We talk about politics, sports, current events, whatever we have on the agenda for that webcast, which is usually a bit of each one of them. And just this past Friday, which was, oh my goodness, it was just not this past, but the one before. And the last Friday was the 27th of February. So it was the one before that, the Friday before that. And I was saying about a certain individual. And I also said, I said, one thing about that person is that person knows that uh, they're going to do the things that they want to do, right or wrong. And I also said that the person has no ability to have empathy or sympathy for anyone else. That's why the person makes it calls and does the things, just negating the fact that there is a process, but does the things, whatever comes up to the person's mind, that is what they do. And then, like this morning, it came to me, said, you know how something happens and you're standing, you're there, and you see the thing happen, and you think, did that just happen? And your mind is like, huh, that did just happen. But you don't do anything about it because you are, what is that? How? your mind can be so, and I don't want to say disturbed, but it could be so shocked until you can't do anything about it because you don't know what to do at the time because you're so overwhelmed with what just happened. And this is what has happened today. Things are being done, and before people can think about it, their minds are overwhelmed with the question, did that just happen? Okay, and I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so this, I'm going to continue this, and so that's why this really got me when I got down here to people, individuals. Sometimes they can't be empathetic, they can't be sympathetic, uh, and what empathy does is enables you to understand the feelings and perspectives of others. And so if they are unable to show empathy and sympathy, they cannot express it because they don't know how. They don't have it. And there are some people with mental, uh, oh gosh, how should I say this? Defects, where they're not able to feel these things, be empathetic, sympathetic, compassionate toward other people. Okay. And we are experiencing that today. And then we're experiencing the part where when something happens and then everybody's like dumbfounded. Did that just happen? What was that? And they're in a mental state where they can't think, well, what should we do about this? Until it's over and done with. And then something else is coming along. Okay. Now, let me go on. Consequently, those who exhibit integrity are better equipped to navigate the complexities of relationships, contributing to improved social health. Ooh, wow. So, hey, the role of integrity in the workplace. And I am to the point when I left the job that I was on for 18 and a half years, I never ever want to go through that again. No, no, no. I don't want to go back into the workplace environment. Not saying that all of them are toxic, and not that just even the workplace itself is uh, really what is it toxic. But there are some places or some situations that become toxic until they you just can be in it. And then when you get out of it, you're so happy to get out of it, you say, I'll never, ever get back into a situation like that again. So the role of integrity in the workplace. Integrity is relevant to personal relationships and plays a vital role in the workplace. Research conducted by Polanski and Yamarino in 2009 found that leaders who demonstrate integrity foster a positive work environment characterized by trust, job satisfaction, and employee engagement. So, by upholding moral and ethical principles, leaders can create a culture that supports the well being of employees, leading to increased productivity and organizational success. Organizational success. Similarly, a study by Simmons, Leroy, Kohlerworth, and Mescaline in 2015 demonstrated that when employees perceive their leaders are having high integrity, they are more likely to engage in pro-social behaviors and display an increased commitment to their organizations. When you have a good supervisor, someone with a great attitude, someone who's fair, you don't mind working with them. You don't mind them leading you. But when you get one that doesn't display uh, Integrity does not display um, respect for the group. The work environment lacks so much, so much. So, the impact of integrity on community and society, I'm going there now. All right. Integrity's influence on well being extends to the community and society at large. Tyler, in 2006, argued that when individuals observe and adhere to shared moral and ethical principles, they contribute to a more stable and cohesive social fabric. So, this collective commitment to integrity promotes trust, cooperation, and civic engagement, crucial factors in creating a healthy, thriving community. Research by Putnam in 2000 supported this notion, finding that communities with high levels of social capital, which includes shared values such as integrity, experience lower crime rates, better educational outcomes, and improved public health. Thus, integrity benefits in individual well being and fosters a more supportive and prosperous society for all. And many people in leadership positions and in life, all of us are in some degree of leadership, really. There's somebody who follows everybody, okay? Unless you're a hermit. And then if you're a hermit and you're out by yourself and there are animals around you and different things, if you if you develop a relationship with the animals, even the squirrels and the birds and whatever is out there, they will follow you if you develop a relationship with them that is caring. If you feed them, water them, if you just don't try to kill every one of them you see, whether you're scared or just whatever, you will develop a relationship and you will lead if it's only a frog, okay? So, 5 ways to live with integrity. Number one, self reflection. Spend time reflecting on your values and beliefs to better understand what is important to you. Remember in the beginning, I said you must know yourself. You must know who you are. That means what you stand for, what you like, don't like, whatever. You must know who you are. And look at this, self reflection. Spend time reflecting on your values and beliefs to better understand what is important to you. By identifying your core values, you can make more informed decisions that align with your principles. Oh, yes, you can. Number two, accountability. Take responsibility for your actions, both successes and failures. Own up to it when you make a mistake and learn from the experience. See, that's what's very important. If we make a mistake, then let's try to find out what went wrong and build on that. Learn from the experience. Don't just say, oh, well, that didn't work. I'll just forget it. Don't do that. Build on the mistakes, okay? Own up to it when you make a mistake, and learn from the experience. Demonstrating accountability increases trust and credibility with others, strengthening your integrity. Number three, consistency. Strive to be consistent in your words and actions. That means Don't be haphazard, which means you might do this or say this today, and tomorrow is something totally different from what you said the day before. Or if you do something one way today and then you do it another way the next day, then if anybody is trying to learn from you, how can they learn if you're going from one way to the other way? Okay? I think I got that pretty good. Okay? I, okay. Ensure that your behavior aligns with your values and principles, even when no one is watching. Consistency is critical to building a solid foundation of integrity. I remember one time, one incident at work, at one of the places I worked at, and haven't worked too many places. And there was me, and there's another lady we're both claiming sanctification. And so we were going back from lunch or break, one of our breaks. And so some came up, and it was of a worldly nature. And it wasn't like, something that a sanctified person would take part in that conversation. So we're walking and going back to our workstations. And there was a comment made, and this person made a comment back to the person that made the comment that we would not take part in. And so he said, "You ought to," he said, "Girl, you ought to be," I don't know what he said, "ashamed of yourself," but he said, "But you sanctified." He reprimanded her on the spot. So consistency is critical to building a solid foundation of integrity. I said all that just to say what this is saying right here. Consistency, ensure that your behavior aligns with your values and principles, even when no one is watching. Consistency is critical to building a solid foundation. People know now they might not live the life that they hold you to, but they know how it's supposed to be lived. Many people do, okay? So if I say that I'm on the straight and narrow, that I'm in alignment with God's will, then people expect me to be consistent with that. Otherwise, they will call me out on it. Somebody, somewhere. Number 4, honesty and transparency. Be honest and transparent in your communication with others. Share your thoughts and feelings openly and be willing to listen and consider different perspectives. Practicing honesty and transparency helps cultivate trust and foster strong relationships. I know I have 3 minutes. 5, ethical decision making. When faced with difficult decisions, consider your choices' ethical implications and potential consequences. Okay, consider your choices, ethical implications, and potential consequences. Seek guidance from trusted friends, family, or mentors to determine the best action. Don't forget to pray to God Almighty, okay? Because no matter what others say, the answer from God is the one, okay? Integrity, impact, and on future generations. Somebody's watching, okay? All the time. Integrity is a critical component of personal character that has far-reaching implications for individual and collective well-being. H. Jackson Brown Jr. once said, "Live so that when your children think of fairness, caring, and integrity, they think of you." Oh my goodness, that is so good. This quote is a powerful reminder of the lasting impact of our actions on future generations. By understanding and promoting the value of integrity, we strive to be role models, embodying fairness, caring, and integrity in every aspect of our lives. In doing so, we can work towards a more compassionate and resilient world where the well being of individuals and communities is prioritized and nurtured. That is the end of it. Oh my goodness, right on time. Thank you so much for being here with me. And you know what? I'm going to do this. This is Point of View with Miss Shirley Polk, and I want to remind you my music is all over the web, all over the World Wide Web. I have a four-part series, Ain't No Love. That's on Spotify, and you might find it on Facebook, and I know you'll find it on YouTube. There are four parts to it. It's a really interesting story. It's a story of life, life for real life. Okay, all right, but it's God gave it to me, and I produced it. Okay, but it is
This is
about
a
life.
reminder.
Okay,
In
so I
today's webcast,
decree in the name of Jesus that you
this
are
is a
healthy,
reminder. In today's webcast,
prosperous, happy, content. Okay, and I'm praying for all of the bereft families. I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on this. Let me see, what is this? The third day of March in year 2026. I love you so much. You are encouragement to me for just being here with me. It means so much to me. I love you. Let me hear from you, please.